I'm Jessica Edwards, and today we're going to be dissecting a sheep's heart for Biology 169 online. So let's make sure we have our mask on, our glasses, and our gloves so that we're protected from all these lovely juices. So from looking at this from the anterior view here, you can notice this is your pericardium going around here and the epicardium. It's protecting the heart, okay? And then this is considered the base of the heart. This is considered the apex. Now, here you have the right auricle and the left over here. And this up top is going to be the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle, okay? And then you have your pulmonary trunk, which is coming in up here, okay? You'll be able to see this better from the posterior view, okay? So back here, I'll go ahead and show you here. This is the coronary sulcus, okay? I don't know if you can see that. And then now that we flipped it, you have your left auricle and right, okay? Your left ventricle, right ventricle. Now, if we take this here, we can come in and find this inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. And if we go in like this, we can push that down into that right atrium over here. Okay. Now, what we're actually going to do is we're going to start from down here and make a cut around and up to the base. So we're actually going to start at the apex and then cut around here without cutting all the way through. Just so that we can open this up here and see it a little bit better. Be careful when you're cutting into this, not to cut yourself. All right, it'll actually pull apart once you get a little bit further down in there. We want to make sure that we have a good incision there. Okay, so we don't want to cut all the way through so that we can still view this. So I'm going to try to readjust this to focus on this as much as I can so that you can see this. All right, so now we started here on the anterior, posterior. I cut this open, right? So now this is going to be our left side that we're working with, and this is going to be the right, okay? So I don't know if you can see that. Okay. So left, right, And when we flip down here, this is the left right here, and this is the right. Okay, so now that we're in here, inside of this, you can see that this here is your myocardium, okay? You can see that epicardium that we were talking about before, right there. And endocardium, okay? So let's stretch this open as much as we can. Okay. All right. Okay, so up on top here, you have the right atrium. And right ventricle right here. Okay. Let's see if we can spread this a little bit. All of this stuff in here, this is what's called choroid tendinae. And then you also down in here, you have these papillary muscles, okay? And if you look in here, you can actually see right here the tricuspid valve. Can you see that? Right in there. Right in here, okay? Let's open this up a little bit more. Sorry, guys. All right. Over here on this side, let's see if we can cut this a little bit more so that it can be seen a little bit better. Down in here is the bicuspid valve. Okay. So again, you're looking at your right and left atrium, right and left ventricles. And then down in here, well, let's start up in here. There's pectinate muscles that are up in here in this area. Okay. And you'll notice from where we were talking about that superior vena cava before, this opening that we were talking about before, it's actually coming through. So before we went in, just like this, and you can see how that probe fits right in there. You can see that well. Okay. And up here is the coronary sinus in here. Okay. All right. So now that we're inside of here, you can see that there is the pulmonary trunk, okay, that's coming up through here. What we're going to do is we're actually just going to cut into that. Okay, we made an incision into this area here. Okay. And now we can actually see the pulmonary semilunar valve down in there. Okay. Now again, we were talking earlier about this bicuspid valve over here. Let me see if we can, I'm just going to kind of probe around a little bit so that way you can see it a little bit better because the way it was cut. Comes down in here, right in here. Okay. And then up here you have your aortic, well, the aorta, and then you have the aortic semilunar valve that comes in right up in this area on the left side, okay? So you can see this is very detailed inside. I don't know. I'm going to try to get this as close as possible so that you can actually see it. But it's amazing what the heart can do. And the way that it pumps the blood through into the right atrium and then the ventricle and then out and through to the lungs and then back to the left side and then out into the body. You can see these here. I don't know if you can see them. Pretty neat, huh? Let's see if we can get you a better view so you can see the tendoni and then the muscles. Okay. So now that we have taken a look at our sheep's heart, we are, of course, going to go ahead and clean up so that we dispose of this appropriately. But this completes the dissection of the sheep's heart for Biology 169, and I'm just going to play around with this a little bit more. Everyone have a great day.